You're keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
Yes, thank you. I'm a new listener to your show. I've listened to your show a few times here in the last month or two. And my question is, I would like to hear your stance from a Christian perspective on the Democrats' passing of gay marriage, and that's my main question.
My stand is that we as Christians have the right to believe, preach, and proselytize whatever we want, but we do not have the right to make it law. And we live in a democracy, not a theocracy. Once you open the door to people making laws against which we may or may not agree with, then they can make laws against what we believe in. And I think it's a very dangerous, undemocratic thing to have laws against people's personal decisions.
So would you, from a Christian perspective, do you advocate?
I just answered you from a Christian perspective. That was my Christian perspective. We do not have the right to make laws. I would not have a law against people having consenting adults, choosing to do what they want to do, because then they can make suppose they want to make a law against me being a Baptist, or me having tarry service, or me speaking in tongues. Once you set a legal precedent that you can regulate people's personal behavior based on what you or I or anybody else may or may not think is a sin, then you open the door for them to do that anywhere.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Yeah, that changed my perspective from being a Democrat to a Republican. I just wanted to hear your stance on it.
Well, I think that the Republicans, if they are, and some are not, but most of them have said that they are for regulating personal decisions and behavior, I think they're wrong. And I do not think that's a Christian perspective. There's nowhere that I've read that we're supposed to change the laws about sin. We're supposed to convert people if we think it's sinful. And then many times we preach things are sins and then later turned around. When I was growing up, it was a sin for women to wear lipstick and wear pants. Yep. Now the same churches say it is not a sin. So I think that you cannot legislate that. I think that's a miscarriage of government enforcement. I think it's much more sinful to have policies where you are making people hungry and unfairly incarcerating them and all, because that's not personal choices. That is government and government action. So I think that the Republicans are very selective. They want to deal with what we may deem in certain parts of Christendom on personal sins rather than public policies. I think that's wrong. Thank you for your call. Let's go to Mark in Detroit. Mark, you're keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me well, Reverend Al?
Yes, I can.
Well, Reverend Al, I listened to you. I heard you on a show last week about the arrest records of young black men as opposed to their convictions. And I myself was a victim of that practice when I applied to Google. And they said, well, you got an arrest record, although the charges had been dismissed. I think it's terrible. And I called various lawyers, and they say, no, the arrest record stays. And I think, Reverend Al, if you could talk about expungement, of the arrest record, because what you said, housing, federal loans, and things like that, that arrest is something else. Now, Reverend Al, I read your book, and I followed you. I think you're very brilliant, but I heard a joke, and I want to tell you quite quickly, if you'll. There was a joke about when that Kennedy boy, Robert F. Kennedy, went missing, out in the Atlantic. They said they had to Coast Guard, the Navy look at them. And then another person said, if it had a black person, it would only be Sharpton out there in the rowboat.
Well, all right. All right, thank you for your call. I guess that's funny. I don't know, I flew 7 hours a day. Maybe I'm listening to humor, but thank you for your call. I think that though Mark's point is very important, and him being a victim of it, I'm sure it makes it even more poignant to him. And that is when I said where you take the marijuana arrest, and there has been data now that establishes that blacks are disproportionately arrested if they're caught with marijuana to whites. And the arrest record, whether they are going to sent to jail or not, the arrest records affect them. You cannot get certain jobs. You cannot stay in public housing or get an apartment in public housing in many cities. You cannot move forward in terms of certain educational institutions. Just the arrest. No trial, no conviction, nothing. You arrested, and when you come in, the question is, have you ever been arrested? And if the arrest record is there, you have to say yes, and it automatically disqualifies you. In the areas that we studied, it's 7 to 8 more times than whites who are just told, throw that weed out, or we're confiscating it and go home. Maybe give them a summons. And that kind of disproportionate action affects people. And people say, well, they didn't go to jail, but they are permanently limited, and others don't. Again, all I'm asking is play it by one set of rules. If it's excusable or a warning for whites, why is it 7 to 8 times more different when it comes to blacks? And these are the kinds of things that we've got to aggressively deal with. Ironically, Mark raised it in these racks we talked about on the air last week. But ironically,
what you do?
They're doing the same thing in England.
Huh?
That's one of the issues that I raised in Parliament yesterday.
What?
Met with them at 10 Downing Street.
Okay, good.